All right, today we're going on a journey, a big one, to get a handle on the most fundamental features of our home planet. We're talking about the massive oceans and the sprawling continents we call home. So, yeah, let's literally dive right in.
And to really wrap our heads around the sheer scale of our world, we've got to start from the outside looking in. Let's get that perspective from the vastness of space.
Way back in 1870, the author Jules Verne put it perfectly. He said, "The sea is the living infinite." And honestly, that quote just beautifully sets the stage for what we're about to explore. This huge, living, breathing system that really defines our entire planet.
And there it is. That's the view he was talking about. This is the iconic blue marble shot. And what's so powerful about this image is that it tells you the most important story about our planet's surface in a single glance.
It leads to a pretty simple question, doesn't it? What's the one color you just can't miss? It's blue, of course. And that deep, brilliant blue represents the single most dominant feature on the face of our planet, water.
And if you want to get precise about it, a staggering 3/4 of our entire planet is covered by water. It's really no surprise that the first astronauts started calling Earth the blue planet. That name just stuck because the blue isn't just a color, it's a statement about the absolute dominance of our oceans.
Okay, so we've got this world of blue and green, of water and land. But let's take a step back. What do we actually mean when we say ocean and continent? It's a good idea to get our basic definition straight.
It's pretty simple, really. On one side, you've got the oceans, this enormous connected body of salt water. And on the other, you've got the continents. Those are the huge stretches of land that rise up out of the water. Seems straightforward enough, right?
Okay, let's go a little deeper into all that water. We've actually given different parts of it different names, but as you're about to see, it's really all one giant, interconnected global system.
So, the way we usually break it down is into 5 main oceans. You've got the Pacific, the Atlantic, the Indian, the Southern, and way up top, the Arctic.
And here's how they rank in terms of size. The Pacific Ocean is just the undisputed giant. I mean, it's so big, it's larger than all the continents put together. Think about that for a second. Then you've got the Atlantic, the Indian, and the Southern, with the chilly Arctic Ocean being the smallest of the bunch.
But, and this is a really important point, those boundaries you see on a map, they're totally made up by us. They're human inventions. Out in the real world, there are no walls between the oceans. It's all just one continuous body of salt water. One single global ocean, where currents flow and mix and life travels freely. And that life is just unbelievably diverse.
And when I say diverse, I mean it's absolutely breathtaking. You have these vibrant, bustling cities of coral reefs, just packed with colorful fish. And then you have the complete opposite, the silent, sleek power of hunters like this shark. It's just a world of endless variety.
I mean, this is the home of some of the planet's most majestic, most intelligent creatures. You've got these incredible sperm whales diving down into the pitch-black abyss, and then right at the top you've got dolphins leaping out of the waves, just full of energy.
And this right here just shows you how adaptable life can be. You've got these ancient sea turtles just gliding through warm, tropical waters, and then, at the other extreme, you have emperor penguins huddled together to survive the brutal Antarctic cold. Life has really figured out how to thrive in every single corner of this massive water world.
All right, let's towel off and step back onto dry land. We've spent a lot of time in the oceans, so what about the continents? Now, you'd think this would be a simple question, but the answer, well, it's actually way more complicated than you might think.
So let me just ask you straight up. How many continents are there? Now, if you immediately thought 7, you're not wrong, but you're also not telling the whole story.
See, what's so fascinating is that the number of continents really just depends on how you choose to count them. It's all about convention. For example, some models look at it purely from a geology standpoint and lump Europe and Asia together into Eurasia. Some even combine that with Africa to make one giant landmass called Afro-Eurasia. But other models separate them based more on culture and history. The thing is, there's no single right answer.
But just to keep things simple, and because it's the model most of us are familiar with, we're going to stick with the 7-continent model. That's Africa, Antarctica, Asia, Australia, Europe, North America, and South America.
Okay, so we've defined the oceans and the continents. But now let's bring this all back to us, to the human experience. Because the ocean especially has this really profound two-sided relationship with humanity. It's both a giver of life and a force of incredible destruction. Just think about it for a second.
On the one hand, the oceans create the weather patterns that bring life-giving monsoon rains, which billions of people depend on for food. But on the other hand, that very same energy can whip up into powerful cyclones and hurricanes that can completely devastate our coastlines. And sometimes, that destructive power doesn't come from the sky. It comes from deep, deep down on the ocean floor. And this date marks one of those moments, a day of just unimaginable tragedy. This was the day of the catastrophic Indian Ocean tsunami. It was triggered by a massive earthquake under the sea, and it ultimately claimed more than 200,000 lives across 14 different countries. It was just a brutal, horrifying reminder of the raw power that's locked away inside our oceans. But, something important came out of that terrible tragedy. It spurred this incredible wave of international cooperation, which led directly to the creation of advanced tsunami early warning systems. It's a really powerful example of how we, as humans, can learn and adapt and work together when we're faced with the awesome power of nature.
And that brings us to one last big thought. We live on a planet that is covered, literally 3/4 of it, in water. It's the blue planet, right? So, why is it that we're always hearing about things like water scarcity and drought? If there's so much water, how can it be scarce? I'll just leave you with that question to think about. It's the great paradox of our incredible water world.